It's a beautiful Monday morning. It's Pathfinder on AKBC TV. It's your Monday tonic program designed to make your Monday morning worthwhile. It's always a pleasure to be here. I am your smiling TV girl in Obondan, always welcoming you to the program. You know, on a Monday like this, when you wake up in the morning, dress up and go out for any activity, you need to make sure that you give out your best, because your best will give you the best. Yes, welcome to Pathfinder. As usual on Pathfinder, we have different segments for your viewing delight. All what we are asking that you stick around to your television set from now till few minutes to 11 a.m. when we shall be out of here. Until then, let me just give you the lineup of what we have for you. Alright, so first segment, I am going to go around the headlines on the dailies, national dailies, so that you know the one to pick up when you want to read. On Pathfinder, we have law segments where we give out information that you need to know in case you have any legal problem and you don't know where to go to. There, you will always be guided. So why not just listen to what we have for you today on the segment. Still on Pathfinder 2, we also give information about how you need to live your life. We also give information about your mental health. We give information about dailies in life. So why not just stay and enjoy all what we have for you today. It promises to be very, very interesting. On behalf of Mary and Andy, who is a producer of the program today, and every other person that is here to make this program very interesting, welcome to Pathfinder on AKBC TV.
Akwa Ibom meshere o okore yoke bade iminam kemafon Akwa Ibom meshere okore yoke bade. Welcome to Monday morning meshere ibibi samado Akwa Ibom meshere ana mama Akwa Ibom meshere oje ibabu baba okore yoke bade iminam kemafon Akwa Ibom meshere ekiri de okore yoke bade. Welcome to Monday morning meshere okore tegi okore yoke bade iminam kemafon Akwa Ibom meshere okore yoke bade. Welcome to Monday morning meshere okore yoke bade. Welcome to Monday morning meshere.
Pathfinder TV show every Monday morning 9 a.m. on AKBC channel 45. Pathfinder TV show. Pathfinder TV show every Monday morning 9 a.m. on AKBC channel 45. Pathfinder TV show. Pathfinder leisure, sports, health, education. Pathfinder TV show. Market survey, capacity building. Pathfinder TV show. Pathfinder law and many more. Making your Monday morning worthwhile. Pathfinder leisure, sports, health, education. Pathfinder TV show. Market survey, capacity building. Pathfinder TV show. Pathfinder law and many more. Making your Monday morning worthwhile.
This is our home, where we all belong. The place where life is beautiful. The peaceful ambience we enjoy when we live together in unity and love. Akwa Ibom, it's on him and you know. We go stand together, we go make them better. We be brothers and sisters, no matter where we be. Akwa Ibom, you know, it's on him and you know. No matter where we day, we are one.
need the police that can respond to emergencies first.
I want the equipment I need to do my job.
I want a police that won't harass or arrest me for no just reason.
I want to be valued for my work, not feared by honest people.
I want a police that won't ask me anything for the boys.
I want a decent salary that is paid on time.
If it happen with good laws,
Proper funding,
Training.
And cooperation.
if it happen,
If it happens.
If it happen.
I just want your papers, please.
sir.
Salary don't enter. Yes, so. And Monday never even reach it.
Na salary plenty, oh. No wonder I no gree collect roja from my hand.
Shut up, sir.
I'm here to bail my younger brother.
If it happen.
With good laws
Proper funding, training,
and cooperation.
if it happen.
This is our home. The place where life is beautiful. The peaceful ambience we enjoy when we live together in unity and love. It's on him and you know. We go stand together, we go make them better. We be brothers and sisters, no matter where we day. It's on him and you know. No matter where we day, we are one. We are one. Let's live together in peace and harmony. Yeah.
I just want your papers, please.
Sir.
Salary don't enter. Yes, so. And Monday never even reach it.
Na salary plenty, oh. No wonder I no gree collect roja from my hand.
Shut up, sir.
I'm here to bail my younger brother.
If it happen.
With good laws
Proper funding, training,
and cooperation.
if it happen.
Incredibly fantastic. Joyfully alluring. The sight and the height of glamour. Catch the views. Draw the emotions on AKBC Channel 45. Pathfinder Am 45, making your Monday morning worthwhile.
It is so good to know you are still there watching the program. It's Pathfinder on AKBC TV. Right now, I want to take you around the news flying on our national dailies. so that when you want to pick a copy, you know exactly the one to go for. So I will start by introducing you to the first paper that we have today, and that is the Nation newspaper. On the Nation newspaper, we have interesting storylines here, so that you just know exactly what to go for. And so, as I usually do, I start from TOP. I just start from top and then read it down so that you get the information. Alright, so this one says insiders bid for higher steps in banks recapitalization. NDLEA operative arrests 60 celebrities at drug party. And the information here says I've been getting salary 2 years after leaving federal civil service. What is that all about? The story is on page 25. And then coming down here, 180 trillion naira federal government's consumer credit scheme set for takeoff. Alright, and so what that is, and then we have work to begin on Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway section 3 and 4. That's the story on page 5. And then really other, news here. US major bomber multiple suicide bombing cowardly. Okay, so the story that says that Tinubu, UN, and others are yet to know what happened to the rise of this and other interesting stories. So we want to get more information, just get the Nation newspaper. I'll take you on another paper for this morning. This is Delhi Sun. Why Southeast governors must work together. That is from Peter Ubi. The story is on page 27. Okay, coming here says ready suicide attack. Borno death toll rises to 18, 42 badly injured. Okay, 30 suicide bombers deployed. Official, that's from official. Then purveyors will pay heavy price. That's from Tinubu. National governors, UN chief condemn attack. Alright, all these attacks have been condemned, and then we know why it is like that. The full story is on page 4 of this newspaper. Rational presidency will promote equity, justice. NDLEA raised the Buja drug party, arrest 60. Borrowing space narrows as Nigeria step to GDP swells to 51%. Sworn elected members will be removed from office. Abia, PDP chairmanship, aspirant tells speaker. The story is on page 27. Okay, bandits, man, others tackle federal government for running 4 budgets concurrently. The story is on page 24. And then coming down here is a cholera. Lagos residents lament access to potable water. And the full information we have is that the main reason why we have this cholera story is because of the water we drink and the food we eat. So it's a lifestyle that is a problem. So if they are lamenting that they don't have potable water, what would be the solution to the problem? Get the story on page 6 of this newspaper and read it. Okay, that's all the information we have for you. I'll now take you on another paper, and that is Nigeria Tribune. All right, Borno, Atiku Obi flare bomb attacks. US offers support. Tinubu assures citizens. Okay, Tinubu is saying that terrorists won't go unpunished. Federal government failure to hold frontline responsible for attacks. That's Atiku. Nigerians must be unrelenting in demanding security. That is from Obi. We will collaborate with federal government to defeat terrorism. That is US government. US Major Gwanza attack last kick of a dying horse. All the story about this is on page 2 of this newspaper. Coming down here, NDLEA raids Abuja drugs party, arrest 60. Edo, APC, PDP trade words over government projects. Local government autonomy, federal government air dragging states to courts. Electricity tariff hike. Most universities will become bankrupt. That is from Univet VC. The story is on page 8. And then this is the pictorial of a chairman and founder of Crane's Matuna Forum and the World Diplomatic Academy, Ambassador Jane Paul, alongside other world leaders presenting award to governor of Lagos State. Okay, this happened over the weekend. That was on Saturday. How government policies, infrastructure deficit threaten Nigeria's markets. Okay, why capital market may not be the way out. That's from my start. So when we talk about business, we talk about capital, we talk about everything. You need to know more information. You get the story on page 6 here. Alright, so Son has always appointed Obumosa chief imam since 1818. So must it continue like that? What is the new story? What do they want? You find the story on page 8. Okay, that's all we have for you. There, I'll take you to the punch. Alright, they have stories there too that you need to go through them. Federal government withdraws 5 oil blocks from 2024 bid round. The story is on page 34. Senate resumes as AGF submits 30 trillion naira loan documents. The story is on page 33. Outrage as UK-based driver remain on federal government payroll. Okay, UK-based driver remains on federal government payroll. What is that all about? The story will be on page 2 and you find all the information. Okay, so bank plane grounded as federal government clamps down on private jets. Wow, the story is on page 33. Aircraft stopped from flying over alleged to 1.9 billion unpaid 9 billion naira unpaid import duties. Okay, I'm seeing this pictorial here. It looks like a very sad incident. UN condemned Borno bombing. Tinubu vowed to crush Boko Haram. These Boko Haram issues, we've been hearing them all this while. Well, God will help us. We know what will happen to Boko Haram at the end of the day. Police guard Rivers Hospital treating exclusion suspect. Okay, suspected hardest Hakogun rice farmer to death. TCN repairs block Ondo, Ekiti to 2 months blackout. That's on page 34. So you get the paper and find out more stories. Okay, let's go to the leadership. The leadership here says Conga's ex-CEO dead for not suicide. That's from family. Okay, he's dead. You know, when we were reading the story, we were read the story that he jumped, you know, from his building down and killed himself, committed suicide. But the family is saying that this death was not suicide. You get the more story in page 6. What could be responsible for a billionaire, someone that was we assume was doing so well when it has to be wealth to die? You get more story from that. Okay, Serap to CBN account for missing 100 billion naira dirty notes. Okay, they will give the accounts. I'm sure page 6 will tell you how they are going to give the accounts of that. All right, stakeholders excited over executive order on local drug production. Borno bomb attack. Nigeria won't slide into era of fear. That's what Tinubu is vowing for Nigeria. Nigeria won't slide into era of fear. So what will be the solution? I'm sure when you read page 4, you see the information that the presidency will have from them. Okay, this one, it says minimum wage. Lawyers back NLC, says Fed can't negotiate for workers. This issue of minimum wage, we still need to know more and how it will come to an end. Get the story on page 4. CBN custom plan fixed import duty exchange rate. NDLEA intercepts codeine worth 7.3 billion naira. Okay, Unibank cries out over 280 million naira monthly electricity bill. Wow, that's big one there. Family debunks Olu Jacob's death rumor. That was another story that was flying on the pages of the papers, and you know, we didn't have them on papers anyway. We had them on Facebook, we had them on social media platform. That's why we say, before you get any information, before you talk about anything you see on the social media, you just need to clear the air before you get information. All right, now let's go to the Daily Trust. Daily Trust says NESCG backs CBN's stoppage of price verification system on FX. Governor Rada queries Kasina Emma. I lost 5 family members in Gwaza attacks. That's from a relative. Now let's talk about Cybercrime Acts. Despite amendments, champ down on journalists persist. What is that all about? And then you just want to know all that? Get yourself Daily Trust newspaper and read it. Let me take you to the matrix. Knowledge, power, and future. That's what the paper is all about. Alright, we start from federal government approved 2 trillion naira for housing scheme in Nigeria. That's from federal government. In Nigeria, that means all the states are included here. So you want to know more story, you get this paper. Missing 100 billion dirty notes. Serap issues 7-day ultimatum to CBN. Says this grave violation also reflects a failure of CBN's accountability. Alright, CPPE hails federal government on import duty, VAT removal on pharmaceuticals products. Shehu Sani cautioned Tinubu against repeating Buhari's nepotism in appointments. The story is on page 3. And then you come down here, you say Borno horrific bomb attack. Outrage condemnation resound. Tinubu talked off, described attack as desperate act of terror. Article Burman's research of ugly incidents of terrorism. No to dark forces contending with peaceful existence of our nation. That's from Poppy. I'm sure all these security issues, when you read this paper on page 2, you could have more information. CAC faces over 15k applicants daily for its footage regularization program. Stop building new structures on coastal highway in hope for compensation. That's from Umahi. The story is on page 3. Yeah, that should be page 3. Aminu Maida pleased to increase telecom's GDP contribution to 25% in place. Okay, so you just go through the papers and have all the information that you need. I'll take you on another paper here, and that is a blueprint. Alright, let's take on the blueprints. Presidency logs Mimesa Blue Economic Ministry on service delivery. Okay, you just come down here, you see sports. Federal government Lord Amusan's clearance by CAS. The story is on page 32. Purveyors of Goza bomb attack will pay heavy price, Tinubu assures. Nothing governors rally support, do may have on God's grace. Article condemns attack, urge drastic action. These attacks have always been condemned. We've been hearing that there's going to be a solution, and yet we are still looking forward to where there will be solution to all this problem we have. And so whenever you read papers like this and get information, especially from the page, just believe in what the story says instead of believing in what you hear from social media. Serap to CBN account for missing 100 billion naira dirty notes, other funds. We've been getting this particular story on almost all the pages of the newspaper, and so it seems to be a very, very vital point here that we need to look up for. You just know that whatever information you have, just take your time and go through them. And what I do say about papers is that they give you information, they give you everything you need to do. Alright, now let's go to another paper. I'll take you to the Daily Times. Daily Times newspaper, okay, that's what we have here, the Daily Times. And we are still seeing the information of what you need to read here. Purveyors of wanton violence will pay heavy price. That's from Tinubu. And the story is on page 4, okay. Says federal government won't allow Nigeria to settle into era of fear, tears, sorrow, blood. NSGF condemns Goza suicide attack. And then we are still seeing the pictorial of the incident, or how the victim of the attack is being taken for medical attention. There will be peace across Nigeria in foreseeable future. That's from COAS. NAV aircraft intercept fleeing oil thieves in speedboats, destroy refining sites. Local government autonomy, federal government erred in dragging states to courts. That's from Okupe. CDS mourn Amiral Ogoyi says he was patriotic all through. Okay, so all the full story there you read. Let me take you to another paper. New Nigerian. NDLEA intercept over 7.3 billion naira then consignment, arrest 60 suspects at Abuja drug party. Alright, so you see having it here that the federal government bridge construction to alleviate suffering in bandits. Affected Zango Kataf. Alright, government making this solar revolution. 25 others with darkness goodbye. Mobilize to site or risk termination of contracts. Federal government tells Julius Berger, CCECC and others. The story is on page 2. Northern Governors Forum condemns Goza suicide attacks. Okay, urge unity resilience against terrorists. You see how they're going to tackle this problem and give us interesting, outcomes is what we are expecting, and it should be a fruitful one at that. Food shortage. Design strategic plan for agri sector. Female bishop advises government. Leadership crisis. Court dismisses suits challenging Action Alliance National Convention. The story is on page 10. Kidnapping. Kogi embark on multi-million naira 100-hectare perimeter facing at caustic. Alright, you know all that, what it's all about. The story is on page 2. Nigeria and presidential democracy. Any better alternative? That's a question. So what should be the answer when you read this paper? The story is on page 19. You find the answer to that question. Alright, this one says justice delayed is justice denied. A case of Malam Nasser El-Rufai, Kaduna State House of Assembly on financial misappropriation. The story is on page 20. 8 lives lost, several others wounded from renewed farmers. Headers clash in Jigawa. I don't know why we are having all this negative news coming from that part of Nigeria. May God help us. Alright, New Telegraph. On the New Telegraph, we have CBN credit to government. Private sectors rises by 10% to 102.669 trillion naira. Okay? Why NAS must do more to assert people suffering by lawyers? Why NAS must do more to assert people's sufferings? This is from the lawyers. The story is on page 14 and 16. Highest French pool tournament in 40 years as far as rights take historic win. Okay, compensation communities erecting new structures on coastal highway. The story is on page 2. The federal government is giving warning and they will not get compensation if they continue with this act. Alright, cholera spread to Kirikiri Correctional Center. Afflict 25 inmates. We should expect the feeding condition in places like that should give us this kind of news. Casino records 118 suspected cases. Okay, you have more information of that when you read this newspaper. 71,000 Nigerians secure Canadian citizenship. The story is on page 4. Serap wants CBN to account for missing 100 billion naira dating notes. That is another story still on this paper here. CP orders clamp down on vehicles without number plates in Abuja. Federal government approved 2 trillion naira housing scheme for Nigerians. Alright, you get that the story here in page 3 of this newspaper. Federal government posture emboldening terrorists in Northeast. That's from article. From NGF to Regional Zonal Governors Forum on any rights of political powers blocks. The story is on page 9 to 11. Okay, so I will take you on another paper here, and that is Nigerian News Direct. And we take all the news from up to down here. NAFDA stakeholders commend federal government over new executive order on local health care. Okay, we just have to continue giving you more information there. Solo wants back Africa Oil Company of the Year award. Okay. Bandits abduct 4, kill 1 in Abuja community. Cholera outbreak. Lagos records 0 deaths in 72 hours. 25 cases in Kirikiri. The story is on page 22. Oyetola Nimasa clinch PEBAC award for performance service delivery. What is PEBAC award? If you want to have more information, the story is on page 8. Unemployment crisis fuels crime. Mental illness as Nigerians anticipate federal government annual 2.5 million jobs targets. We need jobs from a frustrated graduate. Fake recruitment agency exploits desperate job seekers in Nigeria, and this is becoming, it's becoming very alarming. I don't know how people should just see, especially on the social media, they will tell you to log on to a particular website. They will use the picture of the president or the picture of the governor of the state, or they will just make it look so real, and then people will log on to the website. I mean, once you log on to it, it will take you to somewhere else, and at the end of it, is either they will ask you for your BVN or they ask you for your name. At the end of it, that's how they get to get people down. So we just need to be careful. In as much as we are looking for jobs in Nigeria, let's be careful on the websites that we log into when we are looking for it. All right, so that's all we have for you on that one. I'll take you here on the daily news hub. All right, so let's just take the stories we have here. We also have other stories here from up to down. We'll just take it from TOP. Missing 100 billion naira dating notes. Come clean now. Sarah charges CBN governor. All right, so let's just be going around and giving you more information. 24 female suicide bombers still falling in Gwaza. Okay, authorities cry out. Okay, the other story here says confirmed 4 exploded Saturday, 2 arrested Sunday. Military imposes curfew in Gwaza local government headquarters. Okay, this one says terrorists behind Borno suicide attacks pay heavily. That is from Tinubu. Ondo Ekiti to experience 2 months power outrage. That's from the state. Okay, so we have to know that whatever information we have here, if it's from the state government or from the federal government, we need to take time and look into it. Edo 2024, more resignation hits PDP as Emukwe defect to APC. Gale of actors denies rumored death of Olu Jacobs. That's another one there. That's another information we need to look into. NDLEA intercept 7.35 billion naira consignment in Port Harcourt. Alright, so get the story, get all the information here on this newspaper. Let's see. On the business day, how to attract over that's $100 US yearly remittance like India. And then when we want to compare the way economy is in this part of the world and what we have in the outside, and then the business experts will be telling us that it's always possible to do it the way others do it, but how is it done? All right, so when you get papers like this, you get more information. Nigeria's food crisis scene worsening as cost triple. Okay, that's another story there. This one says the hungry planting session means as rains peak. All right, so we also have other story here. That's everything you need to know about business. I'll just give you the last paper for today, and that is the Vanguard newspaper. As the last paper I have for you from today. Securing Nigerians' identity with digital addressing systems. Okay. Conga's ex-CEO's death, not suicide. That's another one there from the family. Borno attack, Tinubu vows to deal with perpetrators. Alright. Agony as federal government retirees grown under 230 billion pension arrests. Why I want Southeast governors to work together. That is from Obe. Nigeria still using 1966-1967 map for survey. That's from a surveyor. What's that all about? I mean, what's the survey plan there in 1966 and 67? And why is it applicable to 2024 era? When you read it on page 12, I'm curious too. I'm going to go through that story to know exactly what it means. No payment made for over a year. Legally binding upward reviews suspended for 15 years. Stakeholders call for boycotts of government securities. Regular dialogue, pressure from labor required. Okay, you have to know all that, so just go through the paper here. Ban A, discourse monthly. Okay, you just have to know that as the day goes by, you have more interesting story for you to read and have more information. Okay, people, so that is where we come to the end of the road on looking at the papers for today. Thank you so very much for staying with us. It is not yet over. Pathfinder still continues after this time out.
Incredibly fantastic. Joyfully alluring. The sight and the height of glamour. Catch the views. Draw the emotions on AKBC Channel 45. Pathfinder Am 45, making your Monday morning worthwhile.
This is our home, where we all belong. The place where life is beautiful. The peaceful ambience we enjoy when we live together in unity and love. It's all man and you know. We go stand together, we go make them better. We be brothers and sisters, no matter where we be. It's all man and you know. No matter where we day, we are one. We are one. Let's live together in peace and harmony. Yeah.
I need the police that can respond to emergencies first.
I want the equipment I need to do my job.
I want a police that won't harass or arrest me for no just reason.
I want to be valued for my work, not feared by honest people.
I want a police that won't ask me anything for the boys.
I want a decent salary that is paid on time.
If it happen with good laws,
Proper funding.
Training.
And cooperation.
if it happen,
If it happens.
If it happen.
If it happen for this Nigeria where we did, it has to do with you and I. It is our attitude, is our lifestyle that is spoiling things for us. As far as we are concerned, this state, this Akwa Ibom state, this Nigeria is blessed by God. All what we need to do is to contribute positively. If it happen, proper training, good understanding, good communication, having love for one another, everything will happen. Let's continue to do things out of love. Alright, thank you for staying with us. It's still Pathfinder. I'm going to take you now on another segment, and that's a special interview from our file copy I had with Dr. Pathfinder Am. It has to do with emotional blackmail. There are times someone will just coerce you to do what you didn't want to do, or sometimes somebody will just use a particular issue and push you to do what you didn't want to do. Do you know it is called emotional blackmail? Let's find more answers from Dr. Pathfinder Am. Shall be interacting with Dr. Pathfinder Am. He is a clinical. Shall be interacting with Dr. Pathfinder Am. He is a clinical psychologist with the University of Uyo, and we are here to talk on emotional blackmail. As I did say earlier, I'm sure some of you didn't know, like I didn't know then, that emotional blackmail is a disease. There's a name that is called that disease, and so those who in one way or the other try to blackmail you emotionally just to get one or two things from you are suffering from that disease. You get to hear from him as he will talk about that and more today. Thank you for joining us. Join me as I introduce my guest in the studio. Good morning, Dr. Pathfinder Am.
Always my pleasure.
Always a pleasure to have you here.
And
you know that Pathfinder Am is a household name when it comes to AKBC.
Yeah, the only thing is that I'm not on the payroll till now. I attended a program the other day with Pastor Anitio, and I told him he should consider.
What did he say?
Yeah, but I'm let me.
Don't worry, we'll do something about that. We look forward to doing something about that. Good to have you on the program. Always a pleasure to have you come around. Okay, so at this point, as I told you earlier, we'll talk about emotional blackmail, and then I told you what it's all about. So, straight up, Dr. Amfanine, what is emotional blackmail?
It is, I wanted to say a crime, but let me say an act.
Okay.
That somebody wants to use guilt or uses guilt to control you, to make you feel guilty for either what you did or what you did not do.
Okay.
He tries to hold you by, as we used to say in legal parlance, by the neck, using what you did or what you did not do. In other words, by commission or by omission, the person tries to use that to control your life, to control your behavior, to determine your behavior, to make you say some things or do some things that you could not have done.
Okay.
Now, the major thing about emotional blackmail is guilt. He makes you feel guilty. He tries to use that guilt to determine your next action.
Okay.
Okay, so by extension, she forces you to accept to do some things that you could otherwise not have done.
Okay.
Just because he holds something against you. Okay. And now you remember that we all have ego.
Okay.
Ego, which is the part of our personality that we all try to protect. That is where we act out personality. You know, personality are in 3 levels: the ego, and the ego ideal. Now, the ego is where we actually act out their personality. And now, that's the one we all try to protect. And you often hear people talk about the deflating your ego, deflating my ego and all of that. Now, is that thing that we try to protect in us. And now, somebody that tries to blackmail you is trying to tamper with your ego.
Okay.
He does everything to make sure he tampers with that ego that makes the world to respect you. And so he tries to use that to make sure that you do what the person wants.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now, how do we know an emotional blackmailer?
Well, first, from professional point of view, these are people that have what we call borderline personality disorders.
That's the name of the sickness they're suffering from.
Yeah, most of them have borderline personality disorder.
Okay.
Now, another set of people that can do that are people that have antisocial personality disorder.
Okay.
But I tell you that in most cases, we have cases of comorbidity where one person has borderline personality disorder and also has antisocial personality disorder.
Okay.
Now, let me try to explain the two of them separately and then join them together.
All right.
Now, somebody that has a borderline personality disorder is somebody that can turn guilt against himself, that can harm himself. He can, turn hurt, not guilt, can turn hurt against himself. They believe in what they call punishment hypothesis. They believe that, self-punishment hypothesis. They believe that if they punish themselves, they will be free from the guilt. So that thing helps them to hurt themselves, and they don't feel it too much.
Okay.
In fact, there are those people that are involved in self-harming. They're also involved in suicide. Either suicide ideation or suicide attempt or suicide act. Okay. Or then in terms of self-harm, they also get involved in what we call suicide, self-harm urges, or self-harm urges or self-harm act. Now, people like that, what they do is this. They will tell you, if you don't do it, I'm going to die, or I'm going to hurt myself.
Yes.
And put you into trouble.
Okay.
Because they can kill themselves, they can hurt themselves easily. They can do that easily. They can hurt themselves and put you into trouble. And because if they hurt themselves, the world will believe them.
Okay.
The world will believe them.
Okay.
And so they can use that to control you. Now, the other people are people that have antisocial personality. These people are antisocial are people that generally they get involved in trouble most times, and they commit crime without guilt. They commit crime without guilt. Antisocial people, they commit crime without guilt. 2, they get involved in trouble with the law enforcement agents easily. Police, NDLEA, and so on. Those are people, and those are people that those top ones. If they send a new commissioner of police to Kwabon State, and they'll go and make friends with those people.
Okay.
Before you know, they're friends with them.
Okay.
But they commit crime. Number 3 is that they easily have alliances, that they have different names. You know, they may know them as one thing, go to Ghana for another name, go to Ikon another name. They have different names. They go to Lagos, you know them as different names. So those people are people that can easily blackmail you and use that blackmail to control you. Another thing about blackmail is that because it has to do with guilt, the person that wants to blackmail you may make you feel that if you don't do it, you become responsible for what happens to me after now.
Okay.
Somebody will tell you, if you don't pay my fees, I will not go to school, and the world will know that you had the opportunity of sending me to school, you refuse to. If you don't pay my fees, I'm going to commit suicide. If you don't do this, you know, that ways. But then what is even worse with this is that sometimes they hold something against you, like, you know, it's becoming very common now in social media since the internet thing came, that people will send their nude pictures to another person, especially the females will send their nude pictures to a guy, in the name of relationship, in the name of love, you know, that face point, and that love is blind, deaf and dumb. You know, person will just send you a picture to another person.
Okay.
Now, when things come down, when the chips are down, you want to pull out of that relationship. It tells you, if you leave, I will send this picture to the world.
Okay.
So he uses that to control you. In some instances, maybe you have a child for somebody, have a child for a guy, and you don't want to marry him. He wants to use that child to control your life, to make sure you marry him by force. So he uses those things to control you and make you feel guilty if you want to walk away from a relationship. These are the ways that something will work.
Okay, now you talk about it in the aspect of relationship when it has to do with opposite sex relationship or same-sex relationship. Now, when we talk about these emotional blackmailers, we know that from what we see that their action may be impulsive and driven by fear and sense of hopelessness. What does that mean?
Now, when we talk about impulsivity, it means the person is unable to stop it. He's come naturally or inwardly, the brain is craving for it. I'll give you a very common example before we get to blackmail. People that have what we call OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, are people that cannot stop doing a particular thing. Like you want to leave your house now, you go back and check your door, whether the door is locked. So they want to get to the room. Oh, remember, you don't go and confirm. That's impulsivity. You can check that door 3 times. Some people may not know that that's a symptom of a disorder.
It is a disorder.
It's a symptom of a disorder. If you call it OCD. Sometimes the person, the door is locked. You still want to go back and check it. You lock your car in the night to sleep. You want to go back and check. You want to go back and check 3 times, 4 times to confirm that those things are locked. Whereas you checked it a few minutes ago, you still feel like. Now, this is a case of impulsivity. Now, people that do these things, that blackmail, they do it as a matter of impulsion. And compulsion. You know, they are compelled inwardly to doing what they are doing. They cannot stop it. They may know the ill this thing will cause another person, but they lack the guilt for it.
Does it mean that their conscience in any way doesn't pick?
Remember that in this studio I said some time ago that conscience is not natural. We are not. Nobody's born with conscience. We develop conscience in social context. It's a society that gives you conscience. What your society has not given you conscience for, you don't have conscience for that thing. That's the mistake we make in life, especially in this part of the world. Nobody's born with conscience. Nobody's born with conscience. We develop conscience. What your family has not given you conscience for, you don't have conscience for that thing. Then when you leave your family, you're larger society. Some do these things, they don't have guilt. They don't have guilt. They don't feel bad about it. Because what you call conscience is a part of your ego ideal that blames you when you do what is bad. That's simply what you call conscience. Some people even call it guilty conscience, which is actually not very correct.
Guilty conscience is not correct.
Not very correct anyway.
Okay. you know, in the aspect, the psychologists will always tell us, because when it has to do with the mind, when it has to do with talking about humans, you know, the way we act and the way we do things, we give it to sociologists and psychologists. But sometimes it is hard for us. You know what I mean by us, some of us that are not really in this field, to understand exactly what you're talking about. Now, when you talk about this impulsive way of handling these issues, it has to do with these emotional blackmailers. And they do it and they don't feel bad about it. So now the next question will follow is, how can I protect myself from them?
One is...
Okay, first, let's find out, how do I identify them? Let's identify the emotional blackmailers.
No, for us as psychologists, we may identify them with what I said, the borderline and all of that.
Then with us.
But with the ordinary people like
me.
Like you. Okay. Now, you may notice that this person is somebody that once in a while tells you that I can do something and hurt another person. Once in a while, in a common discussion, I say, I can do that thing. I can do it. And you notice that this thing this person is saying I can do will hurt another person. But he lacks the guilt for saying that. That is to say, he can hurt another person, not you this time. But something should tell you that if this person can hurt another person and walk away without guilt, he can also hurt you. You should feel within you that, come, if this man can hurt another person, possibly another relationship, can hurt another person and walk away, then you should know that something is wrong. That he can also do the same thing to you. Maybe we need to also know, we need to mention this. It's not just in an interpersonal relationship or intimate relationship. It may also be in official relationships.
Official. Okay.
Now, you get into an office newly. Your accountant comes and tells you how to eat money, and you fall into it. You fall into it. You do. It's easy now that the chips are not down. You working together, everything is fine. You are enjoying yourselves. But if you have problem with that accountant, as the boss to the accountant, he might tell you, "Come, I have the records. If you try it, this is what I will present to the world." That's emotional blackmail now, and so that it clips your hands and your legs. Even if you did something, you can query him. You can't query because you know what the two of you have done. He uses that thing because he had accountant. Maybe he's better in accounting, bookkeeping than you, so he would have kept the records. So he uses that against you. And so one of the ways you're going to see the way he talks. Listen to his speeches. Just like I said, it's just that when people start relationships newly, either official relationships or corporate relationships or interpersonal relationships, intimate ones, some people become blind, deaf, and dumb. They don't listen. They don't talk. They can't hear.
And they don't see.
They don't see what they should see.
Okay.
This person that is talking, the way the person talks, is an overt behavior that shows the covert behavior. What is going on inside the mind of this person? So, as an ordinary person, you can use the way this person talks. He will tell you, I can do that. I did that to somebody else. I did that to this person. In fact, this man that was sent out of his office, I'm the one that did it. Okay? And you feel he's protecting you. No. It's an indication that this person is this way. So he can behave this way. So you better watch out for such relationships. Number 2 is, please, when you start a relationship newly, don't be totally loose. I'm not teaching, at this point, I'm not teaching paranoid personality. I'm not teaching you to develop paranoia. Okay. But at the same time, I'm saying, at the beginning that you don't really know this person. 1 year, 2 years, you don't open up everything.
Oh, okay.
You don't start sending nude pictures to somebody just because you feel you're in love with the person. You don't start telling the person some history, some stories, some things about your background,
especially family
issues.
Okay.
Until you can actually trust this person.
Okay.
And in the course, you watch out for this person, what this person can do and what he cannot do. And then what he said he had done before. These are indications that can tell you, okay, this person can do this thing. So you better watch out that this person has a tendency to blackmail.
Okay.
Emotionally.
Okay. Now at this point, I want to also give people who are watching a viewer opportunity to be part of the show, because that's always been our custom here. We open phone lines for you to be part of it. If you want to ask a question or you have any contribution to what you are hearing about emotional blackmail, there's going to be a phone line on the screen now for you to be part of it. But don't forget that it has been identified that those that blackmail people emotionally are those that have been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. Borderline personality disorder, that's a BPD for short. And so if you see them around you, you need to know that this is what they are suffering from. Dr. Mfonine, you've talked about how I can identify these people, and then you talk about how I can protect myself. But can these people get help?
Yeah, they can. I think the truth is this: you sometimes don't discover that this person, the perpetrator, is sick. But the person that does that is a sick person.
In this part of the world, we don't actually believe that someone can be mentally sick. As I said before, and I always say whenever you are here, people think that once they say you are mentally ill, that means you are mad. We only attribute mental illness to madness. But here we are told that psychologists will always tell you that you can be mentally sick if you have different disorders, and then you need to seek help. All right, Dr. Mfonime, let's see how we can pick a call here. Okay. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Turn down the volume of your TV set, please. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Go ahead, your name and location. Okay. Please, when you call us, turn down the volume of your TV set. Hello, good morning. Okay, I'm sure we are going to have people call. Hello? Okay, Dr. Mfonine, when we talk about mental illness, we only attribute it to madness. And you can use a word that it is not madness. What word do you use for that?
No, the one you call madness loosely is schizophrenia.
Okay.
Schizophrenia, which is just one, maybe the extreme.
Okay.
The extreme aspect of mental illness. But some other persons, almost all of us, many people suffer some other things.
So borderline disorder is
a personality disorder.
And that's a mental problem.
And not madness is a psychotic disorder.
Okay.
It's psychotic disorder.
Okay.
In classification, it's fall under psychotic disorder.
Okay.
But personality disorders fall under borderline falls under personality disorders.
Personality
now,
disorders.
Those ones don't have. They are not psychotic.
Okay.
They have not lost contact with reality.
Okay.
They are still conscious of themselves. They may dress fine. They walk around the society fine. They still go to work.
They mingle and they do everything.
They do everything normally. But they are sick.
They are sick.
After all, some people have headache. They still go to work. Some people have stomach ache, they still go to work, isn't it? Okay. People have malaria, they still go to work.
Okay.
The same thing, somebody may have some other mental illness, just that it's not totally psychotic.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, even those who are psychotic, it depends on the level of psychotism. The person may still go to work.
Okay.
May be managed.
All right. So we are going to still try to pick one or two calls to see who has a contribution or a question. Hello, good morning to you. Okay, as you are picking the calls, you are trying to identify. Now, how do I protect myself from such people? You mentioned that I don't have to give out my secrets, I don't have to send nude pictures, I don't have. Is it just that? Is there some other things I need to do so that when I have these people around me, you say they can be in my workplace, you say they can be my friends, they can be my family members, things I can do to protect
there are things you can do.
Hello, good morning. Good morning to you. Okay. You see, small children are home now on holidays, and so when they see a program like this, they'll pick their parents' phone to call and do one or two things. But I'm sure we can pick one call or two to find out if anyone has a question. Hello, good morning. Okay, Dr. Faineme, go ahead, please.
Yeah. So in addition to the fact that you can protect yourself by being careful at the initial point of every relationship.
Okay.
Be careful a little. That does not mean that you don't trust. But be conscious, be cautious about what you do, what you give out, how you relate, how you fall into traps at the beginning of relationship, whether interpersonal, intimate, or official relationships rather. Be careful how you get in there. Now, also, another thing you can do is if you observe that this person is this way, watch out for the content of speech. Okay. Watch out for the content of behavior.
So it could be reflected in the way the person talks. You mentioned it before.
Yeah.
So if someone threatens me, like somebody tells me that thing you did, if you do it again, I am going to make sure I expose you. Yeah. I'm going to make sure I tell the world who you are. I'm going to make sure I send this, send that. That's a sign of it. That's a sign.
Or it tells you that I've done it to another person. I did it to the other girl. I did it to the other boy. I did it to my boss in office. I even did it to my boss family. I can do it again. Okay. Or you might not tell I can do it again. I tell you I did it. I'm the one that did it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Don't take it as if this person can never do it to you.
Okay.
What he did to the other person, he can do it to you too. He can do it. Okay. That's how he is. Because we do the personality condition. Personality means enduring characteristic. That's what we do. For us in psychology, personality means an enduring characteristic of an individual. That's how this person is. Okay. It endures over time and situation. That's how the person behaves. That's how he will behave again tomorrow.
Okay.
You will try. That's how he behaves. So you should understand that what he did to somebody else, he can do it to you.
Okay.
He can do it to you too. So you become conscious. Now another thing is this: you can also suggest to the person to seek help. In Africa, we don't seek help mentally until the person actually comes down with schizophrenia. Otherwise, you can advise the person to please seek help.
Okay.
Let the person know that this condition is.
If at all the person is ready, ready to accept the fact that he or she is sick. Yeah. You know, I keep saying it whenever I talk to you that it's hard for some of us over here in this part of the world to believe that we are having anything apart from the normal sicknesses that we have around, like you said, cancer, they say malaria, they say, oh, that's when sick. When it has to do with the health, we don't really pay attention.
We usually don't give attention to it.
What could be the problem? What is wrong with that?
It's the level of orientation, level of civilization, the level of education that we have in this part of the world. And unfortunately, the way they presented Christianity to us and other religions, however spoil things, they make you feel that anything that's not spiritual anything that's not physical is spiritual.
Okay.
That's the mistake that we make.
Okay.
Our belief because of religion is that anything that's not physical is spiritual. And so anything you cannot explain physically, you dump it into the spiritual realm.
Okay.
That thing is caused by witches and wizards and all of that. You know, I think that's one major thing that we need to control in this part of the world. There's a realm of life in between physical and spiritual. And that's psychology. That's where mental health lies. We need to understand that fact. That everything that's not spiritual or that's not physical is not necessarily physical. There's another realm of life that we should give attention to if we must make progress in this country. Okay. You know, I've always been saying, not just people that walk around, our political leaders need psychologists. They need to look at it. Sometimes you listen to the speeches made by some of them. You see the content of speech.
Okay.
Now, our religious leaders need to do this. Sometimes you listen to the content of their speeches. Sometimes on the media, also listen to what they say. You know that there's something wrong somewhere.
Okay, so what you're saying in essence is that we're not paying attention to these things. We're just looking at it as
if there's nothing.
There's nothing, and so it has to come from the spiritual world. You're suffering from one attack or the other if you display this act. Now, Dr. Mfaine, we seem to see people on the social media who do this. They emotionally blackmail others. They bring out people's secret on social media and they go scot-free. In this part of the world, is there any punishment for emotional blackmailers?
To the best of my knowledge, no. I'm not aware.
Is that supposed to be?
But no, it's supposed to be. At least that may serve as a deterrent to others.
Okay.
Okay. You blackmail me, but I think there's some law that covers it. Maybe a lawyer may have to help us at this point.
Okay.
There's some law that covers it. That you blackmail somebody emotionally. That there's some law that says, okay, if you this is a punishment. You know, all over the world, you cannot be punished for breaking a non-existing law.
Okay.
You can only be punished for breaking an existing law. So we need to see which part of the law talks about that and what is it that the law has put as a punishment for anybody that perpetrates such a behavior.
Okay.
We need to find out that maybe from a lawyer.
Okay, so when we're talking, we identify that these emotional blackmailers, they act out of impulsiveness and hopelessness.
Okay.
Why would such people be hopeless? What would make them hopeless?
Yeah, simple and interesting. You know, they almost always get frustrated. Those people are easily frustrated in life. Maybe I need to have mentioned that. They get easily frustrated in life. Or they get dubious. They pretend to be frustrated. They tell you, oh, if you don't give me, I've not eaten since morning. I only meet you today. You are the first person. God has made me to meet you. Please, if you don't give me money, I'm going to die. I've not eaten. You will leave you and meet another person and with the same story. So what they do is that they make you feel guilty for a sin you have not committed. Sometimes the sin you have not committed, they make you feel guilty for a sin you have not committed. They push it into you and make you feel guilty. And so that's in that way they become helpless or hopeless. Sometimes in reality or in pretense. Those who are hopeless in reality are those who are frustrated, easily frustrated. Most of the people who do that are easily frustrated. They'll tell you, if you don't need, I'm going to kill myself. I'll commit suicide now. Or I will hurt myself and let the world. I will leave a note, a suicide note, that you're the one that killed me now. I will tell the world that you didn't do what you could have done. So because of that, I ended up my life. I ended my life and so on. Okay. So it is that sense of hopelessness that they have in them that makes them behave that way. Okay. Okay. Now they see life as life is going to end without these. Those are sincerely hopeless. Not those that pretend. Those that are sincerely hopeless is because of their orientation. They see life as being one straight jacketed thing, that if you don't give it to me, I'm going to die. Life must come this way or I'm going to commit suicide. Life must come the other way. And so they'll make you feel guilty by telling you, oh, if you don't do it, I will kill myself, I will die, I will leave school, I will not go to school again. As if they don't go to school, which one is your own, which one is not your own, and so on. You know, they make you feel guilty. And some of these people are people that they had opportunity and they blew off these opportunities. Some of them were sent to school, they refused to go to school. They were sent to go and learn trade, they refused to learn it. And now the hopelessness and the helplessness is on them. They want to make it, they want to put it on another person and make another person feel guilty for sin you have not committed. They make you feel guilty when they had the opportunity to have become anything in life, but they refuse to go to school.
Okay. Now, Dr. Mfanyineme, as you are talking, are you aware or do you know that there are some who are in relationship? Let's talk about opposite sex relationship. That some who are in relationship, especially the female gender, who are going through this in the hands of the so-called boyfriends or male friends, and they are still there because one, they don't want to have issues in the society, or secondly, they don't want to see as single people, they just want to be there, especially those who cohabit, you know, those that just stay with the man and the woman just to become a family and all that. Do you know that there are some people who are going through this?
No, I know. I have some of them as clients.
Okay. Some
of them come to my office for some psychological counseling or sometimes full psychotherapy sessions.
Okay.
Now, it's a duty of psychologists to take them to a point that they know that you can still build up your image. Even if this guy tarnishes your image, you can still build it up.
Okay.
You can still build it up again. It's a function of time.
So what's the way forward? How can someone walk out from such a relationship?
If you feel the relationship is toxic, why stay there? Okay, just because you don't want to tell the world that, oh, you committed abortion, you want to tell the world that, come, you had a child somewhere, you want to tell you that you did. No, it's not enough to keep you in a relationship if you don't like it. If it's not favorable, if it is toxic, why do you commit suicide? Because saying that relationship is like committing suicide. You willingly, purposefully kill yourself. You are the one that wants yourself into death. Why? Just because you don't want somebody to talk about you? No.
Okay.
They won't always talk. Once in a while, they will always talk.
Okay.
However, we have our integrities to protect, we have our images to protect, we have our names to protect.
Okay.
And so, but if it has happened already, you need to realize that even if the person blackmails you, you can still walk out of it.
Okay.
You don't let somebody enslave you just because of this. because they use it to enslave. They use it as a measure of slavery.
Okay.
Or a method of slavery. They enslave you because of it.
Okay. So that's the reason some people stay
back. Yes. They suffer in silence.
They suffer in silence, and these people will continue to blackmail.
And use that to control them. Some will even tell you, come, if you must be paying me a particular amount every month. If you don't want this story to be out, you have to be paying me a particular amount every month, and you keep paying. Sometimes you don't even have, you borrow and pay him because you want to. And you notice that somebody that could have done that once or twice and does not feel guilty. Something to tell you that there's something wrong mentally with this individual. The issue of conscience is out of it. The issue of conscience is out of it. That you don't have, you borrow and pay him, and he's happy to collect the money.
And he still will come and tell you
another day, come, this is your picture.
Okay.
Or this is that about you. If you don't give me this, I'll do this. And sometimes they don't do it once, they don't one-off thing. They come back, they keep repeating it because they use that to enslave you.
Okay.
They use that to control your life.
Okay.
Actually, they apart from the issue of guilt, the issue of control in blackmailing. The blackmail is used to control your life, determine your life, determine your activities. They use that.
So how in reality, in real life, should we deal with these emotional blackmailers? Let's see if I can pick one call because we'll soon be wrapping up this segment. I just want to see if one or two persons you call, because I know that right now school children are at home, and so they were using the phones to flash, and then when you want to pick the calls, they will go away. But while we are trying to pick one or two calls to see if someone has a question, in reality, you know, in this part of the world, I've said it already, we don't accept that someone can have this kind of sickness. And so whenever it happens, it is real. We just look at it that way, and sometimes you see it as a normal thing. But in reality, how can I protect myself from emotional blackmailers? And then what help should they seek?
No, I think we should even start with the perpetrators.
Okay.
You should understand that you have a problem. If you blackmail and you lack conscience for it, you lack guilt for it.
Conscience doesn't come in at all.
It doesn't come in at all. If you can do that and walk away, then you are sick.
Not unfortunately. Let me see if this person will talk. Okay. It's gone. All right.
Now, so what I suggest to you is that you seek help.
Okay.
Don't think it's an achievement. You may have used it to do one or two things. You may use the emotional blackmail thing to achieve one or two things in life, one or two goals in life.
Okay.
You may have used it to get some money. You have used it to even get employment for yourself or for your person. It doesn't end there. There's one like repercussion in life.
Okay.
It boomerangs after some time.
Okay.
But number two, it's a crime. Number three is the fact that those who suffer, the victims, should make up their minds to walk out of it and damn the consequences.
Damn the consequences. Okay. Any consequence? Either
you are not going to. The highest is it will go viral.
Okay.
The world will talk about you. The world will go talk about you. Yes. But must you suffer forever?
Okay.
You need to come to a point that you make up your mind to say, come, well, it's my integrity. I have done it if actually you did it. Okay. If it's not a lie. But if it's a lie, then you must do everything to also protect yourself or defend that image that is trying to defend. You may have to get to court or use other legal processes to make sure that you get justice.
Okay.
Or see some, you can see redress in some other ways.
Okay, so you were talking about getting help. Where should such people go for help?
Simple. Mental health department, psychology department.
Okay. Yeah. So when people like this have to come to mental health department to seek for help, what should they have in mind as they're coming? What should they prepare themselves to get?
Well, they should know that they're not coming to make a magician. They're coming to make a scientist.
Okay.
So you're going to use scientific processes to help them come out of the condition.
Okay.
They're not a magician. Number two, they should make up their mind to cooperate with therapy, with sessions. What you are asked to do, you do. What you're asked to do, you do. It's like going to hospital. Fine, you go. They give you a drug. You carry the drug and you don't take the drug. It's not going to work.
Okay. Yeah. So this one was. Let's see if I can pick one call.